Today, we are going to be talking about XRPBTC, right? This is what we're going to be talking about today. Now, reason why, because normally I would do XRP USDT or I'll do BTC USDT as separate, right? But however, I think there's a far more profitable way of looking at this whole situation, and that is XRP to BTC, right? Because this way, at least on one side of it, you're accumulating something, right? Supposing to accumulate in USDT, which is just a stable coin, right? So we're just going to go into the breakdown as to how I would just do this trade this situation if this was what I had to do, right? This is what I had to do. So we're looking at moves that we could take today, right? As well as moves we could take in the next coming days, right? Areas of interest where we could do a possible buy, sell, these types of moves where we could actually do that. So with that, we're just bringing everything down to a decent level of, say, time frame, right? So rather than do a week, rather than do a month, we're going to keep it to a day. And I think the day is going to be the best in terms of what it is that I'll be trying to achieve with this analysis. And if you're not thinking about doing things in this way, maybe you should consider it, right? Maybe you should consider it. So with that said, make sure you hit that subscribe button, you turn on the notification, and you drop us a like, okay? Especially if you want to see more content like this, definitely drop us a like, smash that like button, and leave us a comment, especially if you have other ideas in relation to crypto that you think that I should talk about, because all the other assets I've pretty much got that nailed down in terms of what I discussed there and what I'm trying to showcase. But in crypto, I don't know too much about crypto, in all fairness. The only thing I do know is that I'm relatively decent at reading the charts, right? So I can apply that to practically anything that has a chart. Hence why we're doing cryptos. But I know there's one or two of you that know a fair bit about cryptos, so don't be shy. Drop it in the comment section. Let's have a discussion. So with that all said and done, right? Let's take a look to see what's actually going on in this area right here. My main thing right now is I want to focus in this area, right? I want to focus in this area right here based on intention. So I'm basically saying, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, if I had to trade this every single day, how would I do it, right? Now, on a higher time frame or on a macro level, right, I would want to consider everything that's been going on in this chart. But however, because of what we have going on in this area right here, okay, we have a really decent amount of data in this area that we can utilize. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the anchored volume profile, right, and we're going to take it from this level right here, and we're going to bring it all the way down here, right? And we can see for the most part, most of the traders, right, they're taking action at these levels down here. This is the point of control, right? This is where most of the guys that know what they're doing, this is where they're taking all their trades right here. Especially the guys that are serious about accumulating BTC. They're doing all the moves down there, as we can see by the point of control. And down here is where you just say the average traders could be sitting, right? The average traders could be sitting. Also as well, when we look into this area we can see, because, all right, sorry, I went too far forward. I need to bring it back so I can help you guys that don't know exactly what it is that we're looking at. I can explain to you exactly what you're looking at, right? So as it stands right now, what I've done is I have applied a volume profile to the chart, right? This is the volume profile. This red dotted line that you're seeing right here, that is the point of control. This is where 99.99% of all the heavy duty business, right, where the serious money's coming in, is coming in at that level. So it's coming in at this level, so which is right here. This is where all the big dough was coming in at, right? Okay, at the bottom of that you should see a black line, this black line right here. Okay, so this is the border, right, on the low side of the high value area, entering into the low value area. So this area right here is what is called the low value area. This area up here is the low value area, right? And this is the high value area, right? And within the high value areas and the low value areas, we have high value nodes, which are these. This is where most businesses is being done. So most business is being done at these levels right here. Okay, so if we brought this down to a smaller time frame, the point of control wouldn't be here, it would be here, right? So these are the high value node area. So we can actually see here that if we bring this in closer, the point of control is up here. So what these high value nodes kind of tells us, right, is where the point of control has been moving around, where it's been kind of located. So just by looking at this, I know that once upon a time, point of control was up here, point of control was in the middle here, and point of control is down here if I use all the data, right? Now, the low value node areas is the areas where there is not that much business going on, right? So what market tends to do is it tends to move through these areas very fast, right? Like it just blasts straight through them, right? And those areas tend to act as resistance and support. So I will show that to you now, right? This you're gonna find super useful with your crypto trades. Trust me, you're gonna find it super useful because this works on pretty much every single thing I've been doing it on, right? But it just makes life really easy on your crypto trades, right? So you can apply it to that. So we've identified this area right here as a low value node area, right? So if we look at it, we can see that this is where price, let me just see how far back I can go with this, right? So we can always see that in these areas of the low value node, right, price always does some type of a rocket blast off. So we can see over here, it did it, right? And bearing in mind that this volume profile doesn't even go as far back as here, but we can see that it took off from this level. It used the data, it took off. We can see again, we had a straight blast all the way through. It went back into this low value node area, blasted all the way back into this low value node area, and now it's kind of gone into this one here, and then it shot up, then it came in, then it blasted off. This is this level right here, okay? And then we had the same thing, but you can see it's in these areas where we have the low value node. Sorry, let me just wait for this thing to clear up. So where we have a low value node and a low value node, right? We can see how it basically just takes off from these locations, okay? So now let's just bring this all the way back to where we are looking at right now, okay? How this could potentially help us. I usually use the volume profile with all of my other trades that I got going on, right? Is this can kind of tell us what we need to keep an eye on and how we need to do it. So first, I've put a low value node area in this area right here, okay? And then I'm going to put another one up here because we want to use this real-time data to help us. We actually want to use this to actually help us. So let me just move this back a bit because I want to try something. Okay, I'll accept that. All right, so looking at what price is doing right now. I am going to highlight this area right here, right? And what I'm basically going to say is this. So this is where you have to be a little bit patient, because with a volume profile, one or two things is that it forces you, once you learn how to use this thing properly, and bearing in mind it's an art, not a science, right? So depending on how you kind of have everything configured, depending on the data that it will throw out at you, that is important, right? So how I've kind of got this configured is my special kind of way of showing me where everything needs to be without it being too refined. You might do it slightly different, and you will get your perfect levels once you've kind of experimented with it. Hence why I don't turn around and say, use my data, it will help you, because I don't know exactly what you're looking for. So only you would know what you're looking for once you start looking for it. But I will say this, once you've kind of got an idea as to how you want to navigate in this space, okay, this is where you can apply your rules as to when you get into a trade and when you get out of a trade. And also as well, what this also means is that it will reduce the amount of times you FOMO into trades, right? So what you're going to find is that you get into trades less often and you hold your trades a lot longer, right? It will just help you do that, and ultimately it will make you a better trader, because a trader that is trading all the time, like you're in the market all the time, there is a high possibility that you're just a gambler, right? That's what you are really. You probably won't admit it to yourself, but that's what you are. And for the ones that know what it is they're doing, they are taking low amounts of trades. So the more you get into this, roughly it's like one trade a day, then it's one trade every other day, then it could be a trade a week, a trade a month, right? It could be like 4 trades a year, 2 trades a year, 1 trade a year. It could be like that. And when you're at those levels of that's how you place your trades, trust me, you're a very good trader. I'm nowhere near those levels, but I know those levels exist, and I'm just trying to slowly work my way into that situation, right? Because if you're going to do this properly, then a lot of the time is less time in the market equals more profit. So if I was going to do this, right? If I was going to do this right now, this is what I'll be waiting for, right? I will be waiting for a close above this low value node, right? I want to close above this low value node area, and I want the close above the volume high border as well, right? So let's just zoom in a bit, right? So as we can see, we do not get closes, right, above. We're getting closes under it, right? So if you look at the body of the candles in this area right now, we can see they're all under the border of the high value area, right? They're all under it. What we would want to consider a buy to the upside, okay, is we want a close above this level right here, right? Now, if you're looking for sales to the downside, and bearing in mind we have an FEG in this area that could support the idea that price right now is about to go into that zone. So let me just highlight this area for you. This is the FEG zone in a day, right? Price could find itself in this area at some point today. Once you see price moving away from it, I think that could be an opportunity to ride it downwards, right? Ride it downwards. And like I say, I mean, you're selling, if you're selling XRP, you're buying BTC when you close, right? So you're actually buying BTC when you close your position. So that's how I would do it. That's how I would do it, okay? So in a nutshell, the levels of interest to me would be, I'm just going to point this out to you guys right here. The levels of interest would be down here. So we're going to put it down as buying above 0.0000256 That's where I'll be taking my buys from, right? And my sells, I'll be taking it from 0.000022318, right? That's where I'll be taking my sells from. So with that said and done, if you're still watching up until now, I strongly recommend you hit that subscribe button, you turn on the notification, and you drop us a like. You owe me that much. You've absorbed my information. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all on the next one.